Antonio Brown breaking into the league. They still got a good deal with his first big contract, and they let him go, and they get 2 more picks. I'm on that side.
Saturday, it's an MLB doubleheader on FS1. Coverage begins at 3 Eastern as the Pirates host the Giants. Then Cody Bellinger and the Dodgers take on Christian Yelich and the Brewers. Catch it all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
By the way, I turned the Dodgers on last night, and Clayton Kershaw was pitching. First inning, he faced Yasiel Puig, former Dodger. Puig hit it out of the stadium. Puig is great. If Puig could get, I'll say this again. I love Yasiel Puig.
It's mental.
It's all mental.
For him.
But he is, you talk about juice. Like
he
that.
tried to fight the whole team last week, didn't he?
He's crazy, but he's so much fun. Right. Matt Barnes, 14 years in the NBA. So Patrick Beverley, a foot shorter, is all in on Kevin Durant. And I just said this earlier. You've heard the old saying, when people like, what's the saying I was using when you live in a bubble? People will say about rich people, well, they live in a bubble. They don't understand the real world. Warriors are a little bit of a basketball bubble. The perfect coach, the perfect GM, Steph's good. You got the bouncer and Draymond. I look at KD and I think Patrick Beverley's in your head. When you go to New York, you're not going to have all this insulation you have in San Francisco. Could I make the argument when I watch Patrick Beverley get into KD's head, KD is kind of easy to disrupt sometimes briefly?
It depends on how I can understand your argument. He's still averaging 22 a game. I think he doesn't get the second tee in the first game if it's a close game. I think he kind of did that to send like a little message. I think more than anything, I think the refs are a little too caught up in that matchup. I think they're kind of, this is the playoffs. It's going to be physical. There's going to be some grabbing. There's going to be some pushing, but they're trying to call every ticky-tack foul, and no one wants to see either of those guys fouled out. It's better for the game for both those guys to be playing, but some would say he's in his head. I don't necessarily think he's in his head. I think KD, he's been very efficient both games, even though he shot 8 times last game. I think he will, obviously, the 9 turnovers are what really stand out to me. But, for him to foul out the first time ever in his playoff career like that was a flop right there. That fake little elbow, that was a flop. I think the refs got a little too caught up in the situation.
Okay, so the refs are too much into the individual battle.
That one-on-one individual battle, I think so.
Okay. What do you make of the Clippers? I mean, I got to tell you.
I love it.
If I'm Kawhi Leonard,
yeah,
aren't they just missing me?
To me, what they're doing right now is they're giving the Warriors a hell of a battle, like I thought they would. But they're making themselves the #1 destination this summer. They have a great owner, great front office, and Lawrence Frank, Jerry West. One of the better coaches in the league, and they have all their role players set. The one thing I really liked about Doc when I played there is he always used to tell us, be a star in your role. Do what you do the best way you can do it, and you can tell all those guys are doing that. You can't. Lou Williams is playing great. Harrell's playing great. The rookie hit a big shot last night. Gallo's playing Gallo. So they are set up. I mean, they have a spot for 2 max free agents. So imagine, I'm just saying, a KD and a Kawhi going there. I mean, that would. They're the 2020 champions.
Did you see Ballmer up there with Doc Rivers?
Oh, he's going crazy. They had a camera on Ballmer the whole game, and I love that guy. He's just so into it, patiently waiting. He couldn't hold his excitement in at the end. He just had to let it go. It was funny.
Yeah. Do they have any chance?
I don't think so. I think they're
boogie now.
I definitely think they're going to be respected, and like I said, they're selling themselves as the #1 destination. But I don't see the Warriors losing this series, and I just think if they're fortunate enough to make it as far as they can, it's not going to be easy this third time around. They're going for a 3-peat. It's not going to be easy, so it's going to be a battle every single series.
Yeah, no, there's a real fatigue. I mean, there's a reason we've never had a 4-time champ. I mean, Michael Jordan at some point left basketball, and I remember reading stories about it. He was just
mentally
emotionally drained from it. It's a star-driven league. So football, Brady can win, but it's about the system and the coach. And I always felt this about NBA guys. A football player, Julian Edelman, can put on a cap, go to Costa Rica,
and be fine.
NBA players can't disappear. LeBron James goes, I'm going to get a coffee down the street. Who's the 6'9" dude? Oh, it's LeBron James. Yeah. Like, basketball is so star-driven that for the greatest players, where is Kevin Durant? In what neighborhood can Kevin Durant hide in the offseason? So I do think it's just draining for these players.
Right.
Let me shift into this. Zach Lowe is a legitimate NBA reporter, had a podcast, and Zach Lowe came out and he said on his podcast with Woj, another legitimate guy, friend of mine, these are NBA guys, that agent, it appeared to be an agent, told Zach Lowe that there's two orbits with the Lakers. The Lakers orbit, and then there's the LeBron orbit. And powerful people in the league have said, listen, we don't want those orbits. We do not want to send our player to, quote, LeBron's team. So if you hire Ty Lue with LeBron, Anthony Davis, it's just LeBron's franchise. I always push back when people said, nobody wants to play with LeBron. And I thought, come on. And it seemed D-Wade did, Bosh did, Kevin Love. I don't buy that. But there are tipping points. Could I not at least argue that LeBron sought power, he got it, and it may turn off a lot of dudes?
It's tough to say. I think any great franchise goes through their star players or star players when they're going to do any kind of moves. I just think there's so much uncertain about their front office, whether people think LeBron is running the team. They've handed the keys, what it looks like, to Rob Pelinka, and throughout the league, he's not very well liked or respected, and you hear a lot of stuff about backstabbing when it comes to him. So, to me, do you want LeBron? Do you trust LeBron, or do you trust Rob? Or, they're a situation now. So I don't know who is to blame in the situation, but at the end of the day, the players have a say over their agent. Their agent may not like it or want to send them, but at the end of the day,
you're a star.
Right.
Would you go there?
No, I'd go to the Clippers.
You'd go to the Clippers.
Yeah, if I'm a Kawhi or a
23
KD,
point a game.
Yeah, and I'm about
to
get maxed. No, I'm going to go to the Clippers because there's just too much, like I said, uncertainty in the front. The front office scares me more than anything. Winning starts at the top. Absolute top. You can hire the best coach. You can give them another superstar. But if that management is not set and tight and understanding and everyone's on the same page, you're not going to go. Look at the Knicks. You're trying to say in the last however long they haven't had any good coaches. It starts at the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just if the front office is unstable, that scares me more than anything else that you can put together.
Okay, so Joy's not going to like this, but I have to say this. Zion Williamson came out yesterday, and Zion Williamson said, I'm going to play in the NBA. Last year was the best year of my life, which is impossible because he was not paid. And, of course, basketball is no fun in college unless you're paid. And I look at this and I think to myself, there's 370 Division I programs. That means there's 4,800 players. 9 will play pro ball. And they have to wait 9 months.
Insane, right?
I don't think you now, by the way, I know we watch Duke and Kentucky and Kansas and the games are sold out. Most of those gyms are empty and these are not profit centers. I think college basketball was awesome for Zion.
Absolutely.
I think we've taken college basketball, and I get guys wanting to get paid. I get it. But Zion Williamson can call for the rest of his life. Mike Krzyzewski, I need tickets. I need swag. I need advice. I need an agent. And Mike's going to say, yes, 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 yes. I love that Zion Williamson's like, that was the best time I've ever had in my life. Did you like college?
1,000%. And we talk about this all the time in this UCLA group chat. Outside of having kids, it was a dream come true to play in the NBA, but the best time of my life was at UCLA.
More than the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's your last, and getting to the NBA is a blessing and you get money, but a lot of responsibility comes with that. A lot, like you said, mentally draining. It mentally drains you. I was fortunate enough to play for 14 years. It's mentally draining to be a professional basketball player. Don't get me wrong, we get paid a lot of money, but college is kind of your last time in that quote-unquote bubble when you're with your friends and you're going to class and you're flirting with girls before it all gets real, really real. So I think Zion was a great shot in the arm for college basketball as a whole this year. It was because to be honest with you, I hadn't watched college basketball. I couldn't tell you how long I'd watched the tournament, but I would never watch the regular season games.
Well, you and the rest of the country.
Right. You know what I mean? So he was must watch. Every chance I got, the twins and I were watching, Zion.
Oh,
so
look at him. I love his video. I love watching him play.
And I think, that this is on another point. This is why I think the NCAA is making a mistake not letting LaMelo Ball play college basketball. He'll be must watch to you. The NCAA needs players like this to draw, like you said, eyeballs are down, as far as watching college basketball during the regular season. You get Zion was must-watch TV. They broke all kinds of numbers when he was on this year, and then like LaMelo would be the same kind of caliber next year. Must-watch. You're going to watch all of LaMelo's games, so I think they're making a mistake not allowing him to play. Quickly,
last year I went a little overboard. I get very emotional, Matt. Sometimes I'm emotional, and last year Ben Simmons came out, and I said, that's the closest thing to Magic Johnson I've ever seen. Give me a break. 6'10 and a half guard. Sees the floor, dribbled. He better defender than Magic was early. And now I watch him and I'm like, what do you do with Ben Simmons? He can't shoot outside 8 feet. What do I do with him? Was I too high and now I'm too low? I watched last night, and yet last night he played well, but God, night to night I don't know what I get with him. What is Ben Simmons going forward?
I think as a whole, we just want everything so fast. You know, what is this, second year, third year?
Well, second year playing, third year he got hurt first year.
Second year, because you only learn while you're playing. To me, he just has to impose his will. I think he's letting the fact that he can't shoot and what everyone else is saying about it get him in his head. At the end of the day, he's going to be bigger, stronger than anybody else guarding him. So if they sag off, you got to attack, make plays for yourself, can't be afraid to get fouled and get to the foul line. He's not a very good free throw shooter, but you got to embrace getting to the foul line, and then you got to score it. You know what I mean? I think last night was he imposed his will, and I put it on Twitter earlier in the day that he needed to impose his will. And that's what he did last night with the triple-double. You know, it took LeBron a little while to get a jump shot, although his jump shot was, you know, further ahead than Ben Simmons' jump shot was.
Jason Kidd was pretty ugly early.
But these guys still attacked and made plays. You see at times when Draymond is not feeling his shot and they sag off, he's attacking, going into dribble handoffs, throwing lobs. He's still downhill attacking, putting pressure on the defense. I think Ben Simmons lets people off the hook when he's just very passive with the ball or doesn't want to possibly go to the basket and get fouled. So he has to embrace who he is. Great player, still has work to do obviously with his jump shot, but he could still impose his will throughout this series. And Philly as a whole scares me from the standpoint of if they realize how talented they are.
Oh my God! Outside of Golden State,
name a better starting five. You can't.
You can't. If you give me Redick, Embiid, Butler, Simmons, who am I missing? And Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
But Tobias Harris, people thought was going to get the max for the Clippers. He's their fourth best player.
Very talented. But to answer the beginning of your question, what separates good from great is consistency, and Ben's not consistent yet. So once he becomes consistent, I just think understands the game more. He's still young. It's still only his second year, but now like you said, name a better starting five. If they click, they can easily make the finals.
Yeah, I love watching Philly play.
They're fun.